You may have heard that NLP helps rewire your brain using neuroplasticity for better outcomes. And today I'm going to explain to you the basics of NLP, Neuro-Linguistic programming, how and why it works, and how you can use it to help improve the quality of your communications internally, in work, in family, and so many other places. All right, let's start with the basics, NLP. NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. So in the early 70s, linguist professor John Grinder and one of his students, Richard Bandler, decided to collaborate to find out why was it that some therapists had much better outcomes than others. And so they started with the neurological patterns, the neuro, right, our brain functions and stuff, and so that's the neuro, and then our language patterns, how we learn to say certain things, linguistic, and then our behavioral patterns, the things that we're continually bringing into what we call how we behave. And so that's the programming. And so by thinking about our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we can begin to uncover why we do and say the things that we do. Then we can hold on to those that serve us and help move us forward, while learning to release those that aren't serving us, that are tethering us, that are holding us to the past. Okay, so neuro-linguistic programming was developed in the early 70s and pretty much all the way through the late 70s, and then they kind of had a falling out. Luckily for us, or at least I agree, neuro-linguistic programming continued to flesh out and is a very, very, very effective way to improve the quality of your life. All right, now let's go inside. This is my favorite part. This is where I specialize, intrapersonal communication. So it's how you talk to yourself in your mind. It's those voices in your head, and you have control over them. You are actually the boss of them. When you think better thoughts, you say better things, you get better outcomes. Neuro-linguistic programming. I like to always start with the thoughts inside, because everything out here is a reflection of what's going on in here. So when you can shift your limiting beliefs and banish the bully in your brain, and it can be baby steps very often, then you will start to see massive growth in getting more of what you want in life and less of what you don't. So if you're ready to learn more, like this video and subscribe with the bell so that you can learn more from the 5-part series that I'm doing this summer. We'll talk about taking down the big 5 in neuro-linguistic programming, how to get what you want just by asking, how your word is your wand, and what thinking positively is more than just thoughts, how it turns into actions, and then your big but, how the overusage of the word but is limiting your communications and your thoughts. And so if you would comment below either NLP or L, I'll reach out to you and we can work one-on-one, or we can get you started in the summer series program. Okay, moving forward. From a neuroscience perspective, neuro-linguistic programming works with the neuroplasticity of your mind, because it starts first with the programs that already exist, and then we keep the best of that, rewire those thoughts with words, and then cognitive actions that will keep you going on that path. Also, from a neuroscience standpoint, our brain is so malleable and it actually wants to be flexible, yet we're drawn to a sense of homeostasis. And that's why you need somebody with you to make sure that you are repeating those new words, which lead to those new actions, which lead to the sustainable results that you want. Now, the brain is positively positive, and so when we continue to find ways to feed it positive things, then you'll start to see the external things become positive as well. And I know this might sound really grandiose, yet it's possible, and lots of people have done it, and you can too. Okay, so for example, if your brain says to you, like, you're not worthy to take up space, nobody's listening to your thoughts, when you're what you're saying, your thoughts are like that. And so this leads to poor posture. It leads to downward eye cast, and a monotone voice, and so much other things. And so a person that does that, looking down, poor posture, not really inflective in their voice, gets overlooked, isn't picked, isn't seen, isn't heard, and then the brain says, see, I told you. So it's important to start with the inside first and shift those, find those spots to make them more positive. And also this NLP series that I'm doing is going to allow you to learn, do. So there's a lot of accountability and unofficial homework involved as well. So I hope you're excited about learning more. I hope you're excited about putting these things into action and allowing me to be the one, to be your guide, to be your mentor on this journey. So if this is your first time seeing me, I'm Elle Graniel, and for nearly 30 years, I've been a mental wellness mentor, helping people learn how to have their brain work for instead of against them. So until I see you again, remember to keep the best and release the rest.